Hey there, it's now the beginning of October. This means that it has been 2 months since I've moved to New York, and 1 month since I've been living in this amazing apartment with my really awesome roommates. So now that it's October, it's getting colder. I'm having to wear heavier clothes, heavier than my cardigans that I normally wear. And I don't actually have a heavy coat yet, so that's something that I need to go out and buy once I get my next paycheck or two in. Something nice and big that will brace myself for the New York winds and the wind tunnels that are all over the city. But a good reminder in the winter is that there are a lot of homeless people on the streets who are going to be freezing cold. One of the big things that I really like to do for winter is I like to have some sort of party where people come and bring clothing donations. So I'm hoping to be able to do that this year. But first, I need to be able to find some place to have that party, which will preferably be in New York. Probably not in my apartment, but hopefully I can find a friend who'd be willing to host this with me or for me. So that's one of my goals in the upcoming weeks, is to find somebody who'd be really willing to work with me on this. So I'm super excited for the opportunity to do this kind of party. The cold weather means it's also Souptober, which is the month preceding Soupvember, also preceding Soupcember. And then you just get to January and February because you can't put soup into those names. But yeah, so this is the month where I really start cooking up some soups, and that's great for me because I just throw a bunch of things into the crock pot, let it sit overnight. The next day I've got a nice soup ready for me to eat. Super simple and easy way to make dinner for a week or so. My first soup that I made was a corn chowder, which was my first time making it, and I think it turned out pretty okay. I want to be able to play with the recipe a little bit more. The second soup I made was a vegetable soup, which consisted of yellow squash and zucchini, carrots, tomatoes, and carrots. Did I say carrots? Onions. That's what I forgot. Onions. That soup turned out okay, but I definitely have a lot of criticisms on it. Like, I probably should have put quite a bit more salt in it. The flavor's not as strong. So, vegetable soup's one that I'm really going to need to work on. I think for my next soup, I'm going to do chicken and dumpling. So yeah, maybe some soup tutorials are going to be up in the future along with my vlogs. I think that would be pretty cool to show my soup making process, and just some easy recipes as well to be able to throw together in the kitchen over winter. Something that you don't have to really work hard on or worry about too much. So the last 2 nights I went out to see COIN in concert, which is the shirt I'm wearing. I originally saw them opening up for the Neon Trees a couple months back, when the Neon Trees were performing in DC, and I absolutely fell in love with their music. The band just was really cool, and so I ended up seeing them Friday, and then decided after that I needed to buy tickets to see them the next day as well. So I saw them once in Manhattan and then again in Brooklyn, which was absolutely wonderful. I was super lucky that I was able to actually get my ukulele signed by all the band members. I think it's... there we go. And so that was a really awesome thing for me. They all were like super nice and friendly about it. I guess they're not such a big name yet. All of my friends are like, yeah, I'm going to see COIN. They're just like, who? What? What? Who? So yeah, I mean, but I was really enthusiastic about going to each of the shows. I absolutely loved getting to hear them play. I heard a couple of other cool bands, Colony House and Floor, that that's flowers and flower, like FLOR. Up to the show, I was sending a couple tweets out about getting to see the band and how excited I was, and with just about each tweet I sent out, the band's Twitter was like liking each and every one of them, which was, I thought, super cool. And I'm not one of those people who like gets really excited over famous people so much, but I don't know, it's one of the things where it's like, oh wow, somebody's actually watching you post things on social media, or they actually like notice you talk about them, even though a bunch of other people are probably talking about them on a daily basis as well. So the manager of the band, who I actually also got to meet after the show, came up to me and was like, "You're the ukulele guy, right?" And he had been, I guess, watching over social media, paying attention to my tweets about getting my ukulele signed, and he just like stood there and had a conversation with me, and he was also super nice. I also got to meet his wife, who was a really sweet person as well. So overall, the experience was really amazing. I'm super happy that I got to meet some really cool people, and I got to listen to them play and sing, and just like kind of partake in that community. It's really great whenever you go to a concert, or at least one of the big reasons why I really like going to concerts is because you're going with a bunch of other people who are there to see and enjoy the same thing that you like. And it's not necessarily something where you have to interact with other people, but when you do, there's like this common bonding. Oh, I really love this band, or I really love this group, and you really love it, and we can share that together. I actually met a couple of super awesome people who we all traded numbers after seeing the show twice together. And I don't know, we just, like, our big connection was being able to see this band, but we also made a really good friendship out of it. The other big thing that I did since my last vlog was I went to go on a day trip to Philly to see one of my friends for her birthday. And I was really excited that I got to do that because she was spending most of the day alone, where everybody else was away at college. At the same point in time, the Pope was also in Philly, after just having been in New York while I was in New York. And I still managed to not see him a single time, but that's cool. I was never really, like, I'm not Catholic, so me following the Pope around wouldn't really, I guess, be a big thing for me. And because I'm up in New York, it's so easy to find this kind of transportation to be able to get out and visit friends that are kind of in the area. So I'm hoping to take some other trips, probably to Jersey and up to Boston and stuff like that, and just hit up some friends that I haven't seen in a while, and hopefully get to hang out with them, even if it's just a day trip, because being in New York and whenever I have a day off, I have that simplicity of travel. And I get to explore new places and have fun and new adventures. So that's hopefully something that's gonna happen with me a lot in the future, is getting to go out to these places and hang out with friends and have fun, and not just be in New York. So I guess that's one of the beautiful things about being here, is that it's also surrounded by a lot of other cool places that are super easy to get to because of the accessibility of transportation. The only problem is it does cost money, so it means I'm going to be doing a bit of saving up. One of the other things that I've been doing recently is practicing my ukulele, which has been a lot of fun, and it's been really a kind of like stress relief and a relaxer for me, getting to just sit there and mess around with it. I never had the time or energy to really become a good ukulele player or really learn how to play it well, so I'm using the time that I have now, while I'm not doing school and working a billion hours a week, to be able to learn how to play my ukulele, which I'm super excited about. So in the upcoming weeks with a bunch of practice, maybe, just maybe, I'll record myself playing something. We'll see how that goes. It's probably been about a year or so since I've thought of seriously practicing, or even really had the time. So I'm glad that I'm able to reserve that to myself now. That's it for tonight. I've got to get ready for karaoke. If you want to see any of my tweets to COIN or anything else I've been tweeting about, you can follow the link to my Twitter below. Other than that, if you like any of the ideas that I have for upcoming videos or stuff like that, you can subscribe to my channel. I really still want to do the interviews with local artists and stuff like that happening in the area. So that's definitely something to keep up with me and how I get to doing that. Right now I'm looking at some hopefully better video editing software, seeing what I can find out there. Something that will hopefully work well with my computer. And I'm just saving up for some better equipment as well. So yeah. Other than that, check y'all in a couple weeks.